Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to be doing a knot with me. This was a video that I actually got quite a lot of requests for over on my Instagram. So I decided to do it. And so all I really did is I asked for a bunch of questions on my story and I have them pulled up on my computer and I'm going to be reading them, answering them while knotting. So this is the bracelet that I'm currently knotting. It is this really cute mini flower alpha, and so pretty much I have my clipboard all ready to go and I have my ruler, and again my pattern is on my computer. So the first question that I got is what got me into making bracelets, and so actually I don't remember that well what got me into making bracelets, but I do remember that I've been making them for a really long time, and for a good 4 years at the beginning, I only made chevrons and candy stripes, and I only got more seriously into making them maybe a year, a couple months ago. So I don't really have an exact answer to that question, but that's more or less, I guess, what got me into making bracelets. The next question was alpha bracelets or normal bracelets. That really depends on my mood, if I'm being honest. Sometimes I just don't really feel like cutting bass strings and then doing an alpha bracelet, so for me normal is just a lot easier sometimes. But then again, sometimes alpha bracelets you can tend to knot a bit faster. If we're talking about memorizing patterns, you definitely can't memorize alpha patterns. So for stuff like that, I would probably prefer normal, but it overall really depends. As of right now, it's phases, and my phases last me a couple days. It's not even that long. Like a couple days ago, I have a to-do list with all the bracelets I have to make, and there were alpha and normal, and I just felt like doing normal, so I just finished all the normal bracelets. So yeah, it really just depends. So next is thick or thin bracelets. I think it depends. For normals, I don't mind at all. Honestly, I love doing thick, 34 string normal patterns. I think those are always really, really fun. But for alphas, unless it's a wall hanging and there aren't too many color switches, then thick is okay. But once it gets too thick and there's a lot of color switches, it's just not fun to knot anymore. It's just really annoying. You have to pay too much attention, and so I try and stay away from those. But if I had to pick thick or thin, I'd probably pick thick, but there are some exceptions. So next is normals with 20 plus strings or 20 strings or less. 20 plus strings, I like doing thick normal patterns, but if I'm being honest, probably my favorite patterns have exactly 20 strings. So yeah. Next is wall hanging or a bookmark. I've actually never done a bookmark before. I'm planning on doing one with this really cute pattern I found on BraceletBook, but I haven't made one yet, so I would have to say wall hanging. Next is keychain or bracelet. That really depends on the pattern. Sometimes when I'm not in the mood to knot a lot, but I still want to make something, I'll just make a keychain because it's really nice and easy. But then other times, if I actually want to use it, I'm probably going to make a bracelet. But overall, I think keychain, they're just a lot more fun to knot and you can do them really quickly. Next is bookmark or keychain. Well, again, I haven't done a bookmark, so I really think it's going to be a really nice experience. So I'm excited to make my bookmark. And as you can see, my strings got tangled. Okay, I opened it. Cool. So next is favorite subject. I'm assuming you mean in school, and it depends on what we're learning. I really like math, English, and science. But again, depends what we're learning. If it's a topic that I really don't enjoy, then obviously I'm not gonna like it. Okay, so my white string just ran out, so I'm going to cut some new string. Next is favorite food. I actually get this question a lot, and I don't really know how to answer it because I have a lot of favorite foods. I like a lot of different cuisines. I like Italian and I love Greek. Probably my favorite type of food would probably be Greek food. Favorite season. Favorite season, I would have to go in between winter. I like winter a lot. I'm a winter-y person, but I also like summer. I feel like everyone likes summer. Next would be where you want to travel. That's a good question. I've actually been to quite a lot of places, but if it would be like somewhere where I haven't been, I really want to go to Hawaii. I feel like that'd be a really cool place to explore. I have not been there yet. And if it would be like revisit a place that I've already been, it would probably be either Japan or England. They were both really cool. I want to go back. So next is my favorite string band. Brand, not band. My favorite string band, I just use the one off of Amazon. I do have a little bit of DMC, but if I'm being honest, I don't know, I feel like the string doesn't create such thick or nice and pretty knots. So I just use Amazon string, and I did go to Michael's, and for my base strings, I do use like the DMC crochet thread, just because it's the same, it's pretty normally priced, and it does the job. And for my rainbow, my color changing strings, I use DMC Prism. The texture of it is a bit weird, but the colors are really nice, and the quality of the string is also really nice. So I'd have to say those. So have I ever cried over a string ripping? I haven't cried over it ripping, but I definitely have gotten annoyed. But I did now, obviously, because I'm a bit better at making bracelets, I have learned how to fix that. It gets really simple. You just attach a new string. So now if that happened, I'd just be like, okay, reattach it, and it's perfectly fine. So this is my progress so far. I think I've done like 2 rows. Anyway, next question. Have I ever cut a bracelet because I was mad? No, I don't plan to, and I don't think I've ever cut my bracelets like for any reason. So yeah. All right, next question. What is my biggest pet peeve? I actually never paid attention to that, so I have to actually think about this one a little bit. I don't really like people that say something and then they which is a lie, and then they completely contradict themselves like a couple days later, and then I'm just like, I don't get why. So that'd probably be my biggest pet peeve. Like if they're lying, like if you're gonna lie, you might as well do it properly and not like expose yourself 2 days after. So yeah, if you could have any talent in the world, what would it be? Maybe it would be to, I don't know, I'm gonna relate this to bracelets, because if it's like for everything, that's way too open-ended. I think it would be to properly estimate like how long you need your strings to be, so you can cut them to the exact length and not have to add and not waste any at the end either. Because that always really annoys me, like when you're like really close to the end and your white string runs out and then you have to add it for like 2 knots. So yeah, that's probably what I would want. If you could live in any day of the past, what day would that be? Oh, that's hard. I really don't know. Yeah, that's a very hard question. Probably like when I don't know if it means like when I wasn't alive or just in the past in general. But I don't know. And if you guys didn't know, that I really like the TV show Friends, so maybe it would be like to one of the days when it was still filming, so I could go to like one of the live audience performance thingies. What is your favorite vacation that you went on? My favorite vacation that I've been on would probably have to be when we went to London. I just love London. It's such a pretty place, and I was obsessed with Harry Potter back then, and so we went to like the set tour and everything, and that was really cool. So probably London. Or Japan, because Japan had a lot of good stationery. Do you use clipboard or tape to knot? I use a clipboard, as you can see here. I just find it a lot more convenient because I can move it around, and I can also knot when I'm not on a flat surface, like I can knot in bed or on a couch. I just got used to knotting, I guess, with my clipboard, and I also like it because you can keep your tape on it, so when I have to add string, I don't actually have to have like my tape next to me. I can just like keep little pieces. So that's why if you guys ever see like these little pieces of tape on my clipboard, that's why, because I just kind of keep them on there. I really have to clean it out, but yeah. Next, how many boxes of string do I have? I have 2 storage containers that are fully like they're full and they're organized, and then I have like a box around this big full of like bobbins with embroidery floss on them, and then I have like one of those big Ziploc bags full of string that I haven't really organized yet. I have a lot of string. Oh yeah, and then I have another box with all like my special black and white and multicolor string. I forgot about that. How often do you get in bracelet slumps? I don't get in bracelet slumps that often, and if I do, it's only for like a day or two. I always find some reason to not, whether it's because I'm just really bored or I just find a bracelet somewhere and I'm like, okay, we have to finish it. How many bracelets have I made? I actually haven't counted, but if you mean just bracelets, probably around like 50 or 60, but if you mean everything, like keychains, wall hangings, everything, probably, I think it's around like 80, no, it's over 100 last time I counted, so probably a bit more bracelets. I actually haven't counted. I think it's probably around 80 bracelets, like 30 or 40 wall hangings and keychains. So yeah. What's the thing you like the most about yourself? I like how I'm crafty and I have the patience to finish stuff like this. Like that's pretty much all that my friends tell me. It's like not even that I do them, it's just that I have the patience to finish them. So I guess that's pretty cool. Next. Oh, there's another question. If I prefer to not, okay, this one's different. So there's a difference in between, do I prefer to not thick or thin, or do I prefer to like wear thick or thin? So as for wearing, I definitely prefer thin, because anything over like 24 strings, it's so uncomfortable to wear. Especially if it's a normal, because when you're making normals, I feel like they're tighter. So I don't think I've ever worn anything over maybe 30 strings, because it's just not comfortable. But as for like knotting them, I don't mind. I would probably prefer to knot thick bracelets. It also depends a lot on the pattern. If I like the pattern, then I'm gonna have no problem knotting it for a long period of time. But then if I'm like sort of iffy about the pattern and then I start knotting it and then I don't like it, then that's when the problem comes, because then I have no motivation to finish it. The next question is, do you have any tips for making better alphas? I actually am not that good myself, unless you consider this good, which I don't really, because, I mean, it's okay, but probably the best tips I would have are try and find your knotting pressure. Everyone's is different, so technically, like, my advice for the exact knots wouldn't be the same, but if I had to say something, it would definitely be try and not make your knots too tight, because then you can always use your ruler and like push them up or push them to the side and flatten it. So you can always do things like that, which are definitely going to help you a lot in your knots. The next question is, do you memorize patterns or do you have them pulled up? It depends. Sometimes, normally if it's a normal pattern and it's like one of those repetitive patterns where you do the same thing multiple times just with different colors, those, after 2 or 3 of them, I normally tend to be able to memorize them. So then I could not like elsewhere. But if it's an alpha, then I normally have it pulled up on my computer or on my phone if I'm not at my desk. It's just too much work to try and memorize it. Sometimes I will print it off, like if I'm going on a car trip and I don't want to use my data, or if there's no Wi-Fi or no signal, then I will just print it off just so that I can make sure that I'm okay to knot, so that I don't get bored. The next question is, when you go on a trip, how do you bring your bracelets? Okay, that's true. You're not allowed scissors on the plane. So I normally just either pre-cut all my strings, or normally what I tend to do is, we all have like those categories of bracelets that we started but we just lost motivation to finish. Sometimes when I'm going on trips, what I will do is I'll actually only take my work in progresses. That way if I want to knot, I have to knot them and then I have to finish them. So that's probably what I would say. Just take all the bracelets that you never had motivation to knot before and I would always cut, like if it's an alpha, I'll cut a bit extra of each string just in case I run out, I can switch. So that's what I do. My computer turned off, so we're gonna turn that back on. All right, so the next question is, do you prefer TV shows or movies? I prefer TV shows a lot more. I just find them, I don't know, I feel like you get to know the characters better, and it's just a lot more fun to watch because it's a lot longer and you can sort of connect with everything more since it can take a lot longer. Oh, the next question is also about TV shows. Do you prefer long TV shows or short TV shows? Definitely long ones, but they can't be like too excessively long. Like, I will watch anything that has up to like 300 episodes. If it has more than that, I'll probably start it and then we'll see how that goes. But in general, I'd still prefer long TV shows because short TV shows, it's essentially like they always leave a bunch of like hooks that you don't really get the answers to, and so you're always asking questions about what would have happened. So I don't really like it when that happens. So I'd much more just prefer to have a lot more to watch. And then I also like it because if you're a person like me, I honestly just have like 2 or 3 TV shows that I really like, and then I just watch them like in rotation, which probably isn't the smartest thing to do, but oh well. I made a mistake, so we're gonna have to undo it not. But yeah, so if you're like me, then I have 2 or 3 TV shows that are like 5 to 10 seasons each, and then once you finish one that's like 10 seasons long, by the time you finish it, you forget what happened at the beginning, so you can rewatch it. But if you don't really do that, then I guess it doesn't really make a difference for you. Alright, so I think we're gonna finish this row, and then that'll be it, because the videos are almost like 20 minutes long already. But we have a few more questions, so I'm going to answer them. Oh wait, I lost track of where I was. Oh, do you like to travel? I love to travel. I actually really like airplanes. I know a lot of people don't, but I've been missing the travel a lot due to COVID. But, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. But I'm excited to get traveling again. I miss it a lot. Okay, this next question is, how many continents have I been to? I've obviously been to North America. I've been to Europe, I've been to Asia, I've been to Africa. I don't know if Aruba would count as South America. If it does, then I've been there too. So I think I've been to every continent except for Australia and Antarctica, but I don't plan to go to Antarctica anytime soon. So yeah, I've only got 2 more knots. And so this bracelet I am actually doing, that was all the questions, so now I can talk a bit about the bracelet. So this is just the small alpha. I am doing double bass strings, which is a technique where you pretty much knot on 2 bass strings, because sometimes when you're using the crochet thread instead of actual embroidery floss, it's a lot thinner. Like if you look at it, it's a lot thinner and it's also twisted, so it's not very good to make knots with. And so it's a bit small, so I try and, when I want to have like a fuller bracelet, I'm going to try and double it. So this is the progress I made. I made like this flower over here. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to subscribe, like, and you can leave a comment for other video ideas you want me to do. And also, I am planning to start selling my bracelets on Etsy, and when I do, I will keep you guys posted. And for more updates and stuff, you can always DM me on Instagram, which is the same as my YouTube. It's just @KnottedByDemi. So yeah, I also have a giveaway going on. I'm not sure if by the time I release this, it might not be on anymore. But if it is, you should definitely go enter. I'll be doing custom bracelets. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!